Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you about the latest project we're working on at the Stygian Society, Dark Flock. As of today, May 2nd, there is 1 week left in our funding campaign to support Dark Flock. I'm hoping by the end of this video you will be so excited to read this upcoming publication that you'll run right on over and get your copy. Plus, limited pinups. More on that in a bit. To give some backstory, especially to those of you who may be new to the channel, last year my partner Pei and I launched the Stygian Society, our small press, with the release of an amazing collection penned entirely by our fellow author tubers. It was a massive endeavor, but one that was really exciting and so encouraging, seeing our community come together the way that it did. It was really the perfect way to launch the society into the world. Upon finishing the collection, we of course wanted to get into new publications, but as a startup, that's a little difficult. We have to rely largely on crowdfunding, as otherwise it's coming out of, well, these pockets right here. And these pockets don't have an expendable income, so things are tight. Grants are, of course, something we're really interested in applying for, but the ones that fit us here in Canada don't allow applications until your first 2 years of operation. So we're doing what we can to keep the momentum going for these 2 years and not go broke in the process. It's a delicate dance, but one that every entrepreneur has to do at least once in their life. So, because of this, our next publication waited a little bit to see the light of day. First, we launched the Stygian Zine, a smaller project that could keep the much-loved anthology energy going and serve as a place for us to discover new voices. And then, finally, a month ago, we announced Dark Flock. The author of Dark Flock is Matt Pohl, who just so happens to be from Montreal, which is where we're located, so it's kind of perfect. Funny enough, and not to dox anyone, but he lives like a minute away from our HQ too, so I really feel this was meant to be. When he came to us pitching the idea of a new subgenre called Twilight Zone birding, we were intrigued to say the least. Going on to read his work, we knew that this was our next project, 100%. Matt himself is an interesting character, which one has to be if you're going to write the stories he writes. The story goes that one crisp evening on a remote island in the Yellow Sea, a Korean gangster kidnapped Matt and forced him to drink tree alcohol with him. They ended up singing John Denver songs together until sunrise. True story. This is what it took for Matt to realize his calling. As he shambled home that morning, it hit him that he needed to start writing some of this down. Matt is a migratory Montrealer who returned home after a decade abroad. His background is in academia, but his travels led to new pursuits: birds, writing, proofreading, with a side of karaoke. Everyone has a story, and after Matt's night of revelry, he knew that he had more than his fair share. So wouldn't it be cool to share these stories through the written word? Dark Flock isn't your average novel. It's a curated collection of freaky feathered fiction. From post-apocalyptic birding expeditions to eerie encounters with surreal avian forces, each story in this collection will leave you questioning something. As you read, you'll join characters as they navigate through twisted narratives set in Denmark, Korea, a little bit in Montreal, and beyond, where the line between the natural and the supernatural blurs. With a blend of mystery, dystopia, and paranormal, Dark Flock is truly unique, which isn't something that's easy to say. And its subject matter fits perfectly with the Stygian Society. Now, for every good novel, you need a good artist. Or that's how we do it at the Stygian Society anyhow. I pondered for a while after accepting Matt's work, trying to figure out what the best possible angle would be to package and promote this book, and then it hit me. I looked at the title of one of Matt's stories, Attack of the Killer Tits. Titbirds. And I knew that I needed to see that in B-movie poster format. Now, when I think B-movies, I think Nyco Rudolph, a friend and collaborator from way back in my Winnipeg days. In fact, I just found an article the other day from May 2014 in the Free Press discussing our collaboration on my Wild Minds B-movie and art festival. It's crazy how time flies. Luckily, a decade later, Nyco was available to work on Dark Flock. Together, our team has assembled what I would say is one of the coolest books around. The stories in it are brilliantly written, intriguing, odd, funny, and sometimes quite cute. Our editor, Pamela, worked very closely with Matt to ensure that all the works are perfectly polished to our standard as well as in a way that Matt was satisfied with. And the art supporting them is incredible as well. So with this, you're not going to see anything that falls down on the job to be propped up by something else. It's quality all the way. And I have done my best as a fledgling formatter to do all of this creative work within Justice, which has been an experience. Now just give me a second here and let me show off this artwork. Impressive, right? I think that Nyco has really outdone himself and just brought these stories to life, even beyond what I was expecting when I first reached out. And I was expecting a lot, as I have been following his career, and his work just gets better and better. He even managed to incorporate animation into the process, which is a fun surprise I will leave you to discover when you get your book. Now, I'm sure you would all like to hear more about the stories themselves, and I am happy to share. I, along with our editor Pamela and community manager Liv, have all shared excerpts of our favorite stories over on the Stygian channel, so click up here to check those out, and again, I'll leave it down below as well. Last but not least, we could not let this exciting publication go by without an exciting launch. Last time, we launched the collection in Montreal, and unfortunately only a couple of our authors were able to attend because we were spread out across the entire world. We're trying something a bit different this time, and launching across Canada. To do this, we're collaborating with our friends Owl's Nest Books in Calgary and Raven's End Books in Winnipeg to launch at the same time as our private party in Montreal. And did you catch the little theme with those names there? If you live in Calgary, your launch is at 6 p.m. local time, May 9th, Winnipeg, 7 p.m. local time, and Montreal, well, I'm not going to say too much on that because that is by special invite only. But you can purchase a ticket through the VIP tier on our Indiegogo page. And there are VIP tiers for Winnipeg and Calgary as well. Each offers something that's a little bit different, so be sure to check out all the info on that funding page. We will also have special guests at each location. In Calgary, our community manager and talented author who was featured in our first zine, Olivia Van Gwyn, will be hosting along with the support of Jolene Smith, known here on YouTube as Bookworm Adventure Girl. Jolene's own wonderful work of fiction was included in the Stygian collection, so if you'd like to get her autograph, it's a great chance to do so. In Winnipeg, our artist Nyco will be hosting along with our editor, Pamela Cat Johnson. You may also catch our Manitoba Stygian author Jen of Jen's Bookshelf too, if you're lucky. And of course, we will be calling in from the Montreal party so that Matt can do a reading and answer questions in Winnipeg and Calgary. It's all really exciting, and it's been a massive project. It's funny because when I came back from my US leg of travel, I had coworkers and friends saying, "Okay, now you'll be back in Montreal to relax a bit." Not so much. So with that, please support Dark Flock. I really believe in this book, and I know it's something you'll want on your shelf, especially if you're a fan of the stranger side of things. And don't you want to read something that's described as Twilight Zone birding? I certainly did, and look how far we've come. Thanks so much for listening to me chat about this project. As much as I love writing, I really love publishing the creations of others as well, lifting up voices who deserve to be heard and providing readers with these books that are really just, little works of art. It's so rewarding. Aside from that, look out for a new video in a week or two. I'm thinking it'll be the second episode in my YA series, but it depends on how I'm feeling. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you actually get notified when I post new videos. And of course, I hope that you are having a day that is just as wonderful as you are. Bye!